got sick and went to the hospital, spent 4 days in the hospital, and every brother in here said, welcome back. And I want to thank y'all. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Devontae Black. I'm here because I got my bar card and I want to learn more experience in this trade. I want to get more experience with this trade, and Officer Jason Johnson recommended me.
Who?
Jason Johnson.
Thank you.
Okay. I can say that?
Yes.
Karen McHenry, I've been with this SPOA since Land's in concert. I'm here to practice and learn.
My name is Antonio. I just started with SPOA at the Moscone Center for the Dreamforce. Adam recommended me from the Positive Directions House, which I stay at, right there on 1633 Newcomb. And I'm here because trying to get this money for the holidays.
Thank you. Have a seat.
My name is Practitioner Wilson. I'm in the organization 9 years. I'm here for more training, for some lifestyle, money management, you name it, I need it.
Fix your tie, sir. Thank you.
Kennedy Lewis, and trained at Moscone Center. Carl Jr. for almost a month now. I'm really getting a lot of experience when I get my gold card. I'll be all right.
Yes, my name is Practitioner Duran. I train at the Indian Consulate, and I've been training at Fendi and other stores. I've been here 2 years. I got recommended by Charles Adams. I think this training program is a great training program and help you progress yourself, put yourself in a good spirit and get you back on life track trying to create something for yourself.
Thank you.
I'm Henry Smith from Oklahoma. I was referred by Shane.
Okay, we're not going
Trying
to
to
right now.
integrate the community. All right.
I'm sorry about that. I'm Practitioner Jones. I've been training with this organization going on 9 years, helping with the day-to-day operations under the leadership of our Deputy Chief and the Chief. Welcome you all to the 2020 session. Other than that, anything else need to be said will be coming from my Chief. Raise your right hand. Present some, introduce others. Chief Precinct.
Good evening. I'd like to try to go over some things. As you see, tourism duty comes in all the time, but we have to have the right kind of people that we can make sure that they can be able to fulfill the tourism duty. Some of the tourism duty that we have right now are like overnights. We're not really sure of the integrity of some of you guys yet. So we're working on that to see how things will go in terms of whatever. You know, we've got some stores where you don't only run in the store all night long, and temptation could be a lot for some people. So those kind of situations that we're kind of working on, so we'll know who you are and how we can sit you out on tourism duty. One of the other things that I want to share is that actually, first of all, if you would like something to eat, while everybody's moving back and forth, help yourself and get you something to eat or something to drink. Now, one of the things that's going to happen the 1st of January officially is that we're going to call this SPOA's Academy. That means that when you come here for whatever reason, you will be in uniform or slacks like Candidate Robeson, or we have items that are called by you, for you items. It's got our logo somewhere on it. So these are the only things that will be accepted in the organization. Or if we have a physical fitness class and you might want to wear something to work out in, if that's the case. But this is the way it's going to work. Practitioner Duran is going to work with all the new practitioners who come in 8 of their 16 hours will be done in here. Okay, when you come off that elevator, and you're not suited correctly, he's gonna push the elevator button, so the next one comes up, he's gonna ask you to leave, okay? Some of the things that we're gonna be looking at is the way you look in your uniform, and so he'll be looking at that. If you come in here and did not looking correct, well, I just stopped by and pick up some information, pick up some DARs or whatever. He might give you those DARs if he's not busy, but that's not gonna be an excuse for you to stay up here. So I wanna make sure that that's clear. If anybody gives you negativity, whether it's you or one of the person that just walked into the door the day before as a candidate, then what will happen is that you'll be able to ask them to leave, and before they can go on any kind of duty, they will have to come before a review board. Because this is an academy, we're training and we're developing our skills. And if that doesn't work for you, then you shouldn't be here. Did you get the jackets? I mean, the shirts?
No, sir, I'm gonna get him now, cause I have to go relieve Mr. Blackwell. I'll get him right now before I leave.
Okay. So, so these are the kind of things that we're working on in regards to that. Now, one of the other things is that the candidates that come here, I don't believe that you're getting the true understanding of what we do here. I think for most part, most of you looking at it like, I got a job now, you know, and so forth. You don't have a job, okay? You don't have no set schedule, okay? Yes, sir.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You know, I trained at Carl Jr. and I'll be an hour early to report to my training, and then my relief, they taking their time to relieve me. You know what I mean? It's like you can't show no example by every day you being late, and I gotta wait on you 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes like that. It's like
Well, see, they're not training, they're working,
right,
okay? That's the difference,
right.
okay? And what you should do, and what time do they sign in?
I signed in. I go in at graveyard. Right?
No, what time do they sign
they
out?
They signed in. They coming in 45, 30 minutes late, 20 minutes late. Every time they come in at 8 o'clock to relieve me, I gotta wait almost.
No, I understood that part of it. And what I need to know from you, when they sign out, you put on your DAR the time that they left, and let them make sure they see it,
Right.
okay? And if there's any questions, it's called STOP, okay? Standard Training Operating Procedures. Okay, I'm writing my report as I see it, okay? So, if you have any more questions about that, then you can, get with, whoever's in charge of Carl's Jr.,
Okay.
all right?
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so now what's happening is that, again, the people who come here and train, I think Practitioner Durham was talking about how, at the consulate, they want people there at least 15, 20 minutes early. So if anything is happening, then, you know, you can come into it. The bad thing about when you leave a person 10 or 15 minutes after they're off duty, they have to stay and give you information, okay? And one of the reasons for us doing this here is so that if you're doing your 8 hours here, 4 hours one day, 4 hours another day, you get to see all the people coming in here, what they look like in their uniform, what they're talking about, how things are happening, because you're now the person, you're the God, if you will. They come in that elevator, when that ding happens, you stand up and standing at the door. Hi, can I help you? Oh, I came to Renaissance. Okay, go on in, because we have nothing to do with Renaissance and the way they dress, okay? Oh, I'm here for SPOA. I'm trying to get a guard test. I'm here for this and this. Was it explained to you how you're supposed to dress when you come in here? Yes, sir. Yeah. And the name tags are,
I have them for you.
okay, all right. So, what's gonna happen with the shirts, we're having our star put on it in the 2020 session, so everyone will have it. But anybody that does not do it correctly, okay, okay, will be asked to kind of leave. Now, if your attitude is not correct, the person that's in charge, no matter if you just came in the day before and they're doing their 4 hours, and you don't abide by what they say, then they will go get somebody from the office to come in and talk to you about these issues that you have. And then they will ask you to leave, okay? Well, he didn't talk to me right. I didn't understand what he was saying. None of that would be acceptable, okay? So these are the kind of things that we're looking at. One of the things about this, our clients for 40 some odd years have recognized our uniform dress, that we take pride in the way we look. If you look at most people who do security today, and actually anything, they're taking on their own dress behavior. This is the way I want to look. This is who I am. That's fine. But you're separating yourself immediately from this organization. Okay, so if that's the case, then if there's any tours of duty that come up, you may not get it just because of your personality and attitude, and we have to show you that we don't need you. This is a training program. We don't have no jobs and things of this sort. Okay. One of the things that I would like to work with Deputy Chief is for practitioner Mayor Henry to get with candidate Durham to start trying to train at the consulate. Yes.
I think we began that a couple weeks ago. I went to, I know you.
Yeah, I know you went up there.
Okay.
And I know that you walked through it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm trying to get the schedule from you, okay? If it's more than, they don't want a lot of people either.
No.
No, because one of the things they're doing, because they're growing and they're doing more things, is that they want somebody that can catch on quickly, work on the computers and things of this sort. So it will give you computer skills. It will do a lot of different things for you. Yes, sir.
Can I just say something, sir? Practitioner Jones, sir, he had went a couple of times, but we have issues with that situation about the criteria in that situation there. So we had discussed that in our meeting about the criteria of that site. But if you override that, there's no problem. We can switch that back up. That's the only reason he didn't go up there.
Well, we'll talk about that, but I still want you to get with Durham so we can see how we can work that out, okay? One of the things is that I've seen that you are dependable, you do show up if you say you're gonna be there, and some other things that seems comfortable, and you always, whether you put it back in the snapshot, you always come with your white shirt and your tie on, you know, and these are the kind of things, and it shows like you might be any and everywhere that you have to be all day long, but then when it comes time for the meeting, you can take out of your pouch your white shirt and tie and put it on. See, I look for the smallest things. Well, I had somewhere to go, and so, this is what I have to wear. All those to me are excuses. You know, in the military, you wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm looking at that. Whatever other issues it is, we are a training program, and we should be able to help you to develop that. Okay. in terms of dealing with that. Now, one of the other things is that, Deputy Chief, do you have some things that you wanna go over? I'm trying to,
No,
okay, speak.
one of the things that we wanted to do for the new individuals, we wanted them to provide orientation. And Practitioner Durham was gonna do that for the new individual orientation.
He's gonna do it here?
No, he was gonna do it somewhere else.
Well, no, but let's not do that, because the problem with it is, let's do it here because we're gonna have X amount of people.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe what we need to do, and I need to hear your explanation of what's going on, because you're gonna have to do that with all the people when they come for their 8 hours here. So why don't you do it like, this, all the people that are here are gonna be doing their 4 hours out there. What we're gonna try to do is to get the table, the chair with the top on it, and set it somewhere where it's comfortable out there. So when somebody comes by, they don't have to sit in it all the time, but at the same time have a binder, so if they need DARs and they're not particularly dressed, it's okay, you want some DARs, here's your DAR. But one of the things that you have to remind them of that, you're supposed to have your photograph on it now. Okay, so if you need some extras, here's some extras, because you don't need to write everything on the DAR. Can I get your pen? Let's see if I can do it. You don't have to write everything on your DAR with your photograph on it, because you're wasting that. So page 1 is a DAR with your photograph on it. Page 2, 3, and whatever can be a blank one.
Okay.
Okay? So go ahead and give us all the spill. We're all coming. This is our first time here, and we're gonna do out there at one point or another. So you wanna do it first?
Excuse me for one moment, can I interrupt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did we find someone for tomorrow for Ross?
For us, no, we did not. So what they, excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry. Practitioner Jones, what they doing is, if Ross is a go, if it ain't raining.
It is, okay.
Okay, because if it ain't raining, Priestley will go to Ross, Livingston will go to the, Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
They already discussed it, so they know.
Okay, so it's a go, tell them it's a go, all right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is the protocol of the organization, Practitioner Doran. I wanna see people come in their attire where we ask them to come in. And the most important of all, when you go on the site, I want you to be respectful to the public on your site. But right now, what we're trying to do now is get our dress down, attire correctly. And that's my main goal now, is to really get, everybody gonna have to have a white shirt, a tie, and if you can't get a tie, pen, and then we're gonna get a name tag for you, so everybody can have a name tag. So when you go on the site, at least your name be showing, so if any of you have, they say, this is, the security was here, whatever your last name is, it'll be on your attire wear. So some places you gotta have a suit, a black suit, and you wanna have, black socks, no white socks with colored tennis shoes. They got to be black tennis shoes or no white socks, black socks. And you wanna have boots. You gotta have boots, even with your boots, black socks. Okay, and we want your boots to look pretty clean every time you go out. And these are BDU pants. These kind of pants, most of the time that you might be on the site to use. If you're not in like a store. The store, mostly they have an attire like a dressed down suit wear. But if you want like a Salt Lake Carr Jr., you're gonna have your security jacket on. If you have your security jacket with the white letters on, once you wear the white hat, the black hat with the white letters security on it, you know? And so, and I want you to really be neat and clean, and everybody should have an extra shirt, instead of keep trying to wear the same shirt for 3 and 4 and 5 days, because it get dirty,
you want to look pretty clean, you know what I mean? Not pretty clean, clean. And your hygiene want to be clean too, you know? So we don't walk up to you and then the manager of the store got to tell you you're not smelling well to send you away. Especially at these stores that causes with a suit on. You know, no smoking, like you'd be in Louis Vuitton or somebody like that, or any other department store. You want to be really clean, you know, smelling, you know, when you go in. And the most important of all, I want, like I said, be respectful to your managers and to your guide on. If he tell you to be at a certain time, please be there. If you can't, at least give him notice, at least 2 or 4 hours that you can't be there so we can try to get somebody there for you, you know? And the main thing we're really concerned about is how we look, our dress down. Right now, that's what my object is now. If you're not dressed right, I could have to send you home. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do for this organization.
Okay, now let me say this. I heard what you said, but that is not what we need for here.
Okay.
Okay, let me kind of go over it. Okay, my name is practitioner or candidate Durham. My post here is the guide-on for the first 8 hours of your training. Okay, this training is your evaluation training to see if you're going to be able to train with us. Okay, first thing I need to do is evaluate your uniform. Okay, so that we can see how this works out. Okay, so now I want you first of all look at my uniform and put your name tag on. Okay. And what happened with these name tags, I'm trying to keep a real clear spirit, is that everybody's name is practitioner, whatever. And everybody's not a practitioner, but you'll be able to wear them because we have them, okay, in regards to that. But see, one of the things that has to happen is that everyone here has to understand, if somebody said practitioner and you know that person's not a practitioner, you should question it before we order all these. It's not you, but somebody else. Okay. But when they come in, you do a uniform inspection, tell them if their shirt's too big, tell them whatever you see, right? Okay, if they're in the right uniform and whatever it may be.
Yes.
Okay, and if there's more than one comes at that first day, then you kind of go over them so they have time to get what they don't have. Okay, but now at the same time, you're gonna have to also look at them and see if we can use them. I don't want to discourage anybody, but I don't want to give nobody no false hope. You know, if they don't look kind of like you think they should look, you should send them into Harriet, one of the DARs, and check off the things that you already seen. Okay, you could either give it to her. You make that up with Harriet if you want to put it in the envelope. If you just want to fold it up. If you just want to give it to the person, because first of all, they got to know that we're serious. If the first time somebody thinks we're not serious, but what's going to happen is going to be that they're going to say, you know what, I can get by with these guys. You know, they're is that you?
Thank you.
Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so.
No, that's my brother.
What's your brother?
Mine, W. Mason.
Okay, but anyway, as I go through here, I'll see if I can find one.
He
But,
has,
okay.
he has one. Probably more than one.
Oh, you already have one?
Yeah.
I already have one.
Some of these supposed to be
Okay.
saying candidate anyway too, sir.
Beg pardon?
Some of these supposed to be saying candidate.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
All of them say practice.
I said candidate.
Yeah, but they're all practice, so we're not getting into that. So what's happening is that I just wanna make sure that everybody that comes in the door, if we do it correctly, somebody might say, you remember one thing, and I really like that about that person? When we talked about what we're doing here and so forth, he sat over in that corner, and eventually he said, you know what, this ain't for me. He said, but this is needed, I like it, and so forth. That was a person with, you know, whatever his trip was some integrity about himself, you know? And he got up and left after he smiled and shook everybody's hand and whatever else was going on, you know? But the whole point of it is that he didn't need money bad enough to stay here and not train. So one of the things you're gonna have to see as a guide on for whoever's standing there, because whoever else walks in there, if you're not here, you don't have to be here all the time. You just pop up whatever. So they come in and this person is, you know, just kicking back and, you know, and hey mama, how you doing? Or whatever that might be, then a whole thing is thrown off. Because this is the academy, okay? And it's like, look at any kind of an academy, any place you go, the first thing you see is security, okay? When you see security, you make a judgment on the whole concept by that first person you see, okay? So what you wanna make sure is that they get the best kind of intake training, okay? They can ask you any question. I'm not sure with that, but you can go ask Harriet. Or they might, Deputy Chief or Harriet or whoever else is in there that I give permission to, can ask them a question. And they have all the time here to research it with whoever else is here, okay? They might be busy in there, and somebody said, I didn't know, I'm just, you know, it's my first time here. Somebody said, come up here. Somebody gave me one of these cards, so I'm coming by to check it out. Okay, you're not gonna just send them away.
No.
Okay, you're gonna say, well, this is what's going on, and this is what we could do, and this is what's happening. But if you really want to come back and see what's coming, come to a Tuesday night meeting, and or call and make an appointment with somebody, and here's somebody's name you could call and make an appointment with. But please come in professional attire, okay? Because this is a membership, and this is cybersecurity. This is a business, okay? All that other stuff, you need to leave someplace else. So, you know, you'll get it down over a period of time, because every time somebody comes in, what they're gonna do is enlighten you on all the things that you might turn you off being a member in good standing, knowing that this is your livelihood, okay? Knowing that you enjoy what you're doing, you enjoy the tourism duty you have. And every time we lose one of those, it's kind of based on you are the first person they officially get to talk to, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what happens is that you need to be up on, we have a lot of different papers, publication. Okay, so that kind of situation. So, you know, you kind of go over that and give them some information. And some of the old newsletters we have are agendas. So when you're not doing anything, you can kind of look around and say, you know what? Give this to somebody that really seems interested. Only reason I deal with McHenry, okay, is that every time I see him, he has the white shirt, he has everything in a bag someplace. And when he gets through, I've seen him take it off, put it back in the bag. And it's not that wrinkled, you know, as far as stuffing it into the bag. So,
I don't like wrinkles myself, so it's
right. So he's trying his best to live to a certain standard of whatever he has. So that's what you have to do. You have to start reviewing what's available, okay? And any other questions as you go along? Because I've been getting calls from people, and I thank those people for calling me and asking questions about how this organization really runs, because they're not clear, okay? So, and they don't feel comfortable going to other people because they feel like they have issues, okay? So, you know, so we want to make sure that we give out that information in a general situation. Don't pull me to the side and give me some instructions of what to do and not to do and so forth. And can't do it in front of everybody else. And then when we hear somebody doing that and giving instructions and it's not totally clear to us, so you know it may not be clear to somebody new, then we should kind of help to clarify it, okay? So those are the things that I want you to do out here. Number one, make sure that everyone that's doing their 4 hours, I don't want them to do 8 hours. I want them to do 4 hours at a time, okay? Or 2, whatever it may be, okay? I want them to be able to absorb why they're there, not to just stand there and let people up and down, but to give out correct information. Have some papers after a while that they can have, that they can hand to somebody. I'm sorry, I can't let you in, you're not the right kind of uniform, and I'm quite sure somebody, whoever told you where these meetings are at, or where whatever, they're supposed to tell you, okay, that you're supposed to have on black shirts, black pants, white shirt, and so forth. So whoever told you should have told you that too. And so we can kind of go from there. So do you have any questions about that part of it?
I'm pretty much aware of what you just told me. And I think once I get to my first few weeks in, it just come natural to me.
Oh, yeah.
What they're supposed to be doing and what we're supposed to expect out of the people that's coming here. And like you said, shouldn't want just to go in the office. If I'm out there at the desk, I would ask them what they're here for and what they need, especially during meeting time. So,
Okay.
I understand.
And for meetings, we might let the person that's on duty flow over into the meeting time as the keeper of the key. Okay, in terms of making sure everybody looks through the mirror at themselves and all that kind of situation. So we can really, as a matter of fact, the mirror should be out there as well, because what you're trying to do is to, when they look in the mirror and they think it's okay, in regards to, of how, the thing where, I think we're gonna have to balance it some kind of way.
Yeah.
But we'll make sure we get all that together. Right, so basically at that point, because let me explain what I'm trying to do, and I've mentioned the deputy chief a couple of times. Practitioner Adams is gonna give a class in special events, right? I'm trying to get someone, first of the year, I'm trying to get the first couple of weeks in January together so that we can have a handcuff class, mace class, we'll have the guard card class during that same period of time, so we can make up a schedule of classes. Now, some of those classes will also cost, you know, just because we got to get an instructor, okay? And that can't come out of whatever, so whoever's taking those classes will do that. So if we can start that, and also the cannabis club training. So we got at least 4 classes that we can start this whole training off at. Now, every time I walk out here, I look down to the next floor and I see a potential for a gym in the room down below here. So that means that, like I said, sometimes there might be an athletic equipment, somebody's giving a class in physical fitness. Right now, it'd probably be jumping jacks and something that we don't mess up the classroom in case they want to do something different. but at the same time, look at all the things that happened, like that off-duty highway patrol got jumped on, you know? Hey, you never know what's gonna happen. And I want everyone to be as physically fit as they possibly can. So if we can give those classes and show here that we can do something like that, maybe they'll help us to promote it even more in terms of when the classes are gonna be. So anybody that wants to give a class, also, I'm also looking at, and let's think about it for a minute, this is not set in stone, but one of the classes I wanna give is, it's not really a spiritual class, but it's, how do you define integrity from someone to make them understand, that it's important to have that. It's not necessarily a spiritual thing, but it's something that I wouldn't take anything from any of you guys in here. I wouldn't underhandedly, somebody gave us a whole bunch of money and I gave you nothing, but the $15, $16, when I could have gave you $1 or $2 more, right? Because we're all supposed to be in here together. So all that's part of integrity. I wouldn't be talking behind your back about the things that we're trying to do if that's gonna affect your training or anything else. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to find a location that we can give that class once a month. So I'm talking to some of the churches, see if we can go from church to church and give that class one day a month and get as many people that can come because we have tourism duty, we have all these things going. So that's another class I'm working on. Hopefully that will bring a different level of the integrity, the Gentlemen's Knights, the Baroque Cut members. That we could be on that level, okay? So that when we look at each other, we can look each other in the eye and say, you know what? I appreciate you being part of that unit, okay? So that's the kind of thing I'm looking at in regards to that. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is to keep moving us forward. And I know Deputy Chief had some things that she wanted to.
Chief.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir.
Practitioner Adams, Mr. Dorn. So by you doing this, you need to step your uniform up.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell nobody about the uniform if your uniform not up to par.
Excuse me,
See, we already understood that.
Yeah.
Because we got the shirts, the stars will already be put on them.
Yeah.
He's got his name tag.
And you can't be wearing that jacket with the.
No, I'm not even gonna, when I come here, there'll be some days, when I'm here, I'm gonna have a tie suit on. Some days I'm gonna have my BDUs on, my shirt, and my security jacket, and my security hat.
Right.
Okay? Until I be able to get my brown.
Heavy enough that it might pull it down.
That's why I told him I'm putting on another shirt.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing,
I just told him.
the other white shirt is fit better.
Yeah, that's too light,
The brown,
and,
yeah.
and it's not gonna fit correctly. So,
You got one on there.
I have a question. Is there anyone here that JJ recommended? Okay, and JJ said you have your guard card.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to point that out, guys.
Okay. So we still need, for the 2 days.
Yeah, so,
I'm trying to get in touch to see if she wants to do it or not. I don't know what to do, 'cause I don't want to send nobody to the store, you know what I'm saying?
If so, I have a question, go back, your name again?
Demonte Black,
Okay, so how are you related to JJ?
Q-Stick, reach yourself.
How are you related to JJ?
I'm an alumni at the Boys and Girls Club. I've been up there
Okay,
through him when he was up there.
yeah. JJ is the police officer that I work with, and he recommended
Where you
him.
stay in San Francisco?
Yeah,
Yes.
stay in Navy District, stay
Yes.
in San Carmen Road.
Okay. So I just wanted to, he has his guard card, so, okay.
You have a suit? Black suit?
Not currently.
You don't need a suit for this.
Robeson. But he has black and white, right?
Yeah. calling us,
No.
she keep calling us, telling us she wanna come.
No, we just did that with practitioner Durham, right? But they took the girl up there, she trained and so forth, but she has yet to call him back.
Yes, she's not answering my calls.
Right, so we don't do that but one time. Okay, this is supposed to be a training program, and again, we got to get to the point of, for us, on what we will accept and what we won't accept. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. It's kind of like, there was a couple of people that could have stayed a few minutes longer for this meeting, but they had to go, you know, and they're never here. And I, you know, I'm mentioning it to them, and we're doing everything we need to do, but we just need to keep moving forward. For me, all I can see is that person is here for the money, and just leave it at that, you know.
Make sure you call me,
Okay.
Friday.
So someone, okay, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest that someone can take them outside and talk to him about, let him know who we are, what we're doing, okay?
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
yes.
Yes.
Because he has a guard card, and he needs to do an application.
Okay.
Okay, you can go in the hallway, okay, and then, I'll ask Lourdes to print you out another copy of that. But see, I wrote on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this so I can go, just be my little study.
Absolutely.
Heavy enough that it might pull it down.
So that's why I told him, I'm putting on another shirt.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
I just told him.
the other the white shirt would fit better.
Yeah, that's too light,
The brown,
and,
yeah.
and it's not gonna fit correctly. So,
You got one on there.
I have a question. Is there anyone here that JJ recommended? Okay, and JJ said you have your guard card.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to point that out, guys.
Okay. We still need, for the 2 days.
Yeah, so,
I'm trying to get in touch to see if she wants to do it or not. I don't know what to do, 'cause I don't want to send nobody to the store, you know what I'm saying?
If so, I have a question to go back. Your name again?
Demonte Black,
Okay, so how are you related to JJ?
Q6, preach yourself.
How are you related to JJ?
I'm an alumni at the Boys and Girls Club. I've been up there
Okay,
through him when he was up there.
yeah. JJ is the police officer that I work with, and he recommended
Where
him.
you stay in San Francisco?
Yeah,
Yes.
stay in Bay District, stay
Yes.
in San Carmen Road.
Okay. So I just wanted to, he has his guard card, so, okay.
You have a suit? Black suit?
Not currently.
You don't need a suit for this.
Robeson. But he has black and white, right?
Yeah, you got that, that's all we need, black and white.
So where?
For Louis,
Louis Vuitton?
overnight.
Yes.
You got 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
You want
She
that?
said she'll call me back, Jones, just go give it away. She must not want nothing if she's not calling back.
Who's
Okay.
that? Who's that?
Gordon,
She keep calling us,
No.
she keep calling us, telling us she wanna come.
No, we just did that with practitioner Durham, right? But they took the girl up there, she trained and so forth, but she has yet to call him back.
Yes, she's not answering my calls.
Right, so we don't do that but one time.
Okay.
Okay, this is supposed to be a training program, and again, we got to get to the point of, for us, on what we will accept and what we won't accept. It doesn't matter how long you've been here, but it's kind of like, there was a couple of people that could have stayed a few minutes longer for this meeting, but they had to go, you know, and they're never here. And I, you know, I'm mentioning it to them, and we're doing everything we need to do, but we just need to keep moving forward. For me, all I can see is that person is here for the money, and just leave it at that, you know.
Make sure you call me,
Okay.
for, Friday.
So someone, okay, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest that someone can take them outside and talk to him about, let him know who we are, what we're doing, okay? Yes.
Yes.
Because he has a guard card and he needs to do an application.
Okay.
Okay, you can go in the hallway. Okay, and then, I'll ask Lourdes to print you out another copy of that. See, I wrote on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this so I can go just be my little study.
Absolutely.
Jones again, this is the picture, sorry about that. This is the picture that we blew up. It's gonna go on to our 2020 calendar, okay? The calendar is gonna cost different amounts. We got, you can get your birthday, say your birthday is August 7th, that famous day. You know, everybody can be fortunate enough to have August 7th. But those of us who have yours tomorrow, see, you don't want that day. But anyway, you can come up with some ideas how we want to do it. But this will be on the top, and then all around it, little pictures, your family, if that's what you want on there, and stuff like that. Okay? The cost of this, and I already know, there you go. There's two sets of pictures in there. So we're gonna have two sets of pictures. But the cost of that is gonna cost at least about $20. I already know, who already told me that they're gonna, so we like to start this, get this on the road as soon as we can. Okay?
So how do I remove my picture?
We finally got a picture of you. We finally got a picture of Deputy Chief on So when I seen that picture, I said, I'm gonna blow it up and this is gonna be our calendar. We finally got a picture in her purple too. Yes. So if you have any family pictures that you want us to get to, please get them to me real fast, or you want your birthday signed off or something like that, you want your name under that, let me know, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Any questions?
I'll give this to you. I kind of made a rough draft of something, just kind of help out. Okay, what I did was at the top, the 1974 with the photo. It says we had what did it say? What did it say there?
Jones again, this is the picture. Sorry about that. This is the picture that we blew up. It's going to go on to our 2020 calendar. Okay, the calendar is going to cost different amounts. We got you can get your birthday. Say your birthday is August 7th, that famous day. Everybody can be fortunate enough to have August 7th. But those of us who have yours tomorrow, see, you don't want that day. But anyway, you can come up with some ideas how we want to do it. But this will be on the top, and then all around it, little pictures, your family, if that's what you want on there, and stuff like that. Okay? The cost of this, and I already know, there you go. There's two sets of pictures in there. So we're gonna have two sets of pictures. But the cost of that is gonna cost at least about $20. I already know, who already told me that they're gonna, so we like to start this, get this on the road as soon as we can. Okay?
So how do I remove my picture?
We finally got a picture of you. We finally got a picture of Deputy Chief on So when I seen that picture, I said, I'm gonna blow it up and this is gonna be our calendar. We finally got a picture in her purple too. Yes. So if you have any family pictures that you want us to get to, please get them to me real fast, or you want your birthday signed off or something like that, you want your name under that, let me know, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Any questions?
I'll give this to you. I kind of made a rough draft of something, just kind of help out. Okay, what I did was at the 74, so the photograph up there says we had a dream, and then that photograph it would say we now have a commitment. Okay, to educate, train, and develop our skills personally and professionally.
And also we want that other old picture from the beginning.
Yeah, that's this one here.
Okay.
1974. Okay. And then what happens on the bottom is it's a family and community affair.
Okay.
Okay, so it brings.
So what picture would be right there for the it's a family show? Or the black and red ball picture?
No, we don't want to put too many collective pictures. I want to keep it to the people with the $20
Yes.
and the people who are really participating. See, everyone's getting away with, you know, being a part of something. And if we did that with the picture, we're gonna break it down to a small group of people, okay? The calendar, it'd probably be that size there, that poster. Okay, so we've gotta realize, you know, that we're trying to get all the dates in. I thought that some kind of way we could put a little dot or something on that dates, the dates, and at the bottom someplace.
So you saying you just want one sheet like this, you don't wanna have calendars go over like that?
Oh, that's gonna cost
More?
Oh, that's gonna cost,
You think so?
oh,
Let's find out.
Now, that's like, somebody got to put like 40, 50 bucks a piece in that.
yeah, we just want,
Okay, we just get one sheet.
We get one poster sheet, it's cheaper.
well, not only that, you also, if we do it and design it correctly, so it, you know, it kinda stands out, what happens is that we can also give it to people. You know, to agencies, to, you know, people, our clients.
Different companies.
Yeah, you know, so
You
we.
also,
Yeah.
you also, when you get it did like that, you can also reduce the size and pass them out as cards where you can go into businesses.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there might be a lot of potential, but that's the reason that we need to keep working on the art department. Cause you know, if we don't have the skills to really look at it and say, okay, this is how much space we have. How do we make it, benefit, you know? We want the first picture, we want, this picture we just did, we want it to stand out so it can look, you know, really look nice. And or, do we wanna take another picture with somebody that, that has a little bit more skill with the camera?
Bring it in.
Yeah, get a.
I was looking at this closer.
Yeah.
A little roof on, but it's big.
No,
I don't think we'll get another picture of,
We won't. I was seeing
you
it
know,
crossed it out.
not in the purple, so.
I was trying to see if it crossed it out. Over there with the glasses doing something, I was
So,
watching.
you know, we ain't gonna get that picture like that. When I seen it, I said, oh, we're gonna get this blowed up.
Yeah.
You know, cause we don't usually get a picture of her like that.
So if we can, work on that in terms of dealing with that, but, we should have it, if anything, by the end of this month.
Okay.
And be done.
Done.
How many copies do you want? You gotta check on how much, once we get it designed.
Yeah, what I'm do first is, the people that I already talked to, they should have their $20 in when we have our, so the investment should come in on, that day too.
Right.
And then we'll know how much money we're working with, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay, well, yeah, you wanna find out,
How much it's gonna cost?
well, first of all, you're gonna have to find whoever's gonna design it, create it.
Maybe, some of your people, you know, like the people we did last time, remember the guy, who was that guy that we did the last thing with, who?
Dre?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll give you his number and you
Yeah, we
can,
can go from there.
Dre not there no more.
That's right, huh?
No, we got him.
No,
that's,
We got him.
what?
Dre not there no
We
more.
got him.
Oh, Dre did that?
Yeah,
Okay, so
What?
we can,
yeah.
Oh, Dre doing his own thing now?
so we can do that, we can let's see how much money gonna charge us, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, while I'm standing here, I went to the church, thing and, what they call them? That you put around your neck?
Cross.
The tassels.
Tassels. Okay, that's gonna cost $60 per person. $60, and then your year that you came in, the name, the year that you came in, SPOA. That's the way unless somebody got some other ideas they want on there. But it's gonna cost $60 just
Okay,
to have that.
that's fine. What you need to do is have Lotus make up the receipts, right?
Yes.
For it, because that can be done on an ongoing basis.
Yes, as they go along.
Right, and, but we number it, right?
Okay.
And so the numbers are on the receipts.
Okay. All All right.
Okay, so now we know what that costs.
Yes.
And we know where to get it.
Get it.
It's gonna be in, blue and gold?
Yes, yes, whatever color we want, they got the colors. No
Okay.
matter, you know, they just wanna know how many and what do we want on it, and the names.
Okay.
You know, your name, your, year you came in, if that's what I suggest it.
Yeah, that's fine.
How many years and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, all that,
Yeah.
all that is something that is your op, right?
Okay, copy.
You know?
Yes.
In regards to that.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
so,
you, sir.
okay, now, let's go a little bit further with some of the stuff that we're doing. I'm trying to, make sure that everyone gets recognition for the things that they're doing, as far as projects. You know, just like Practitioner Jones came back with his project, and that was what I was gonna do, is do I need those pens. The blue and gold one. The reason I say that is that, which column is supposed to be in, the fanny packs?
Yes.
And each one of them is supposed to have one of these pins in it.
Okay.
And yeah, so I got about 50 or so.
Okay.
So
I think I got some at the house, you need some?
yeah, I wanna make sure that all the fanny packs have the flashlights are gonna be ordered.
I got some in my other backpack, 'cause I keep.
Okay.
I got some.
Okay, so the flashlights are gonna be ordered when deputies go, but it's all, okay, sorry, no, go ahead. No.
I was just saying, I was just asking the general question, is those the pens that we had before?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We got all kinds of pens, different ones. Some of us have one or two left out of whatever stack that we
I
made.
got some.
Yeah. Yeah. So we want to just, the fanny pack, I'm trying to make it so it's kind of like almost generic with everything in it. And the notebook, a pen, a marker with a pen on it, so that you can start highlighting certain things as we do it. So all this stuff is, and then you'll be able to have some of these, because we still got 4,999 to go.
I got a stack right here. You got some?
I got some.
What, no, well, actually,
I'll pass them out.
oh yeah, I mean, we're doing okay with them. I mean, it's really, you know, people are and one thing I see about it is they say, I get from the people, this is nice, and when they look at it, turn it over and kind of look at it for a few minutes, it lets us know, but our art department is creating things that, you know, that makes a little difference. So I just want to make sure that we get an understanding of. Yes, sir.
Okay, speaking of those cars, like over there where I live at, they robbed both of the liquor stores. Night before last. In both of those stores, I gave those cards. So I seen the guy today, he told me to come back, so we might be having some security in the stores, so they robbed both of them the same night.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
Right there, the first store is Marina Liquors on University, down the street from my house. And the other store is down San Pablo, about 2 blocks. It's Bing's Liquors and Marina Liquors.
The one which come go to all
They
that?
got both of them. Got robbed both of them. Got this one and went up the street and got the other one. They only got $1,000 out of this one up here. I don't know what they got out of this one up here.
Wow.
Cause I went in there, he asked me, he said, "You the one that had the card, huh? Cause I had this on." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Where was you at last night?"
So that's what I'm saying is that that's the importance of us really getting into our training now. Just like the couple of security at the mall had to kind of intervene to try to help that off-duty police officer. And the first thing he said, I had to really put some kind of restraint on myself, not to pull my weapon and shoot somebody. You know, so training is going to be important in these days to come, and that's what I'm working on. Now, one of the things that's happening is that we still having meetings for the event that we want to do. Is that in February, right? February, for all the security industry. You know, so when we're talking to people, let them know that we're trying to do this fundraiser for the security industry. The fundraiser is so that we can raise money to have legal representation. That doesn't mean that necessarily have a lawyer. It means there's somebody who can write up different types of things that we want to send to Congress people, to different people in regards to helping out this particular group of people who have had records because whatever the reason is, you know, that and if we can do it correctly, what we're going to end up with is extra people coming in and help. Now there's they want to do a small one of 300 or 400 people to start off with. I would like to do one even smaller for all the promoters who are looking for security and try to work with them in regards to how we can work together and so forth. If we're doing the training here, all the security companies that don't do training could send their people here and pay for the instructor. If they're looking for certain types of equipment, we could make up t-shirts. I know they got other places they can go to, but we can do all that ourselves in-house. That's the business part of what we're talking about. We don't care about no other security company because we can do it ourselves, make the money. They'll come to us because then we also have security people, or they can say, you know, if you guys keep some of these shirts around for your practitioners or your candidates, we can call you immediately if we need somebody, and that's a shirt that we can authorize you guys to wear, because like that doesn't say excellent security on it. It just says whatever session that STAR says. So it's not really interfering with what they're doing by promoting us. And anytime we do that, we're not going to pass out cards to their clients about who we are. We don't need to do that, okay? So that's what I'm going to try to work on in terms of dealing with that.
Can I interrupt you for 1 minute, please? Lourdes, okay, can you step in for a minute? Okay, Tuesday before Christmas is the building. We have a concern about the building, right? And Tuesday before New Year's, okay? It's because Christmas is on a Wednesday and New Year's
Tuesday.
is
Both Tuesdays and Tuesdays.
right. So we need to decide how we're gonna handle that in terms of, yes.
Because they said the front door, they're gonna close at a certain time for
Well, no, it's
public.
not an issue. We either don't or do at 1075. The 18th is the party, so we can make that.
18th.
Okay.
is Tuesday.
Yeah. So we can make that the last meeting of the year.
Huh?
17th is Tuesday, and that's in Oakland.
What?
18th is Wednesday, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we made. They told me that we weren't going to have it over there. We was going to have it at the office.
Right. Oh, you want me to tell?
Yes.
I mean.
The 17th.
Yeah, whatever day it is.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
December.
Yeah, because see what, it's kind of like closing out, and in years past, the couple of times during that year, we didn't even have meetings in December, because we're just that busy, you know, in terms of them. So, and so we just.
Like Friday all week, all month.
Yeah, so if we can figure out how we want to do the scheduling, and then kind of go from there, then we can not have the last two meetings.
Might do, I did last time, Chief. You scheduled for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what we did last time.
Okay. So we can do that, you know, and that way, that will take care of that. And
also remember that because I'm here in the building, that I can have downstairs for free. Okay, I don't have to pay that much. So at some point, if we wanted to do that, guys. we
What's
can
that?
Downstairs in the community room. It's available to us.
do what?
If we wanted to have a sit down or a potluck, have a bigger venue, where everybody can sit down at the table and eat, or we can bring in guests, whatever, okay?
Depends on what's going on, if it's rain, like say it's raining, that Tuesday, you wanna do that then?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we just cook the day before, like the ribs and stuff like that.
Okay, but we just have to know,
We'll know like that week before if it's gonna be raining, and then we'll just say, okay, let's do this.
we can, cause otherwise, the reason for us doing it there is pretty much PR situation.
Give it to them, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so we can still do it there, there's no problem.
No, actually, if we can do it downstairs, we can invite the people from here, right, as well? And, you know, we can see how we can, make it more accessible for the families and so forth. Cause sometimes when we do it like in there, it's so crowded, you really can't enjoy it and so forth, okay?
Excuse me, Deputy, he have his guard card, right? So I told him he's gonna bring all his information back tomorrow. I told him to bring his social security card back, his ID, and I want him to go to Walgreens or CVS and get a passport photo shot to put on his application. And then I say, as he go on, you get a membership passport card that you give out, and he'll have one of those.
Okay.
So he's pretty up on what's going on. I asked him about how, you know, do
Okay.
our training program as well.
Okay, so are you interested in training with us?
Yes.
Okay, the protocol is, once you think you're interested in training with us, you stand up before the membership and request permission to train in the 2020 session. And then, the question will be asked of you, why? And after you answer the questions, then, we'll vote, okay?
You're making a request to train with us. So explain to the state, you're gonna make a request to train with SPOA. And when you make that request, you also make that request in mind which you wanna offer SPOA and which you wanna benefit from. Okay? Excuse me, my name was Candidate Robertson when I made that statement. So, you know, you offer that, make the request and we'll vote and decide whether you qualify and which we feel you are.
Yes, sir.
My name is Devontae Black, and I'm requesting to be.
You're a candidate.
My name
Candidate Demonte Black.
My name is. I am candidate Demonte Black, and I'm requesting to be a trainee of the
Okay, just trainee in the 2020 session.
trainee of the 2020 session.
That's
Okay,
SPOA.
okay, question?
I have a question. Okay, what do you have to offer in terms of, what do you like to do? What is your hobby, other than security? Is it basketball? Is it cooking?
For hobby, I like being active, but yes, I do like basketball, but my favorite sport is baseball.
Okay.
And I also have two little brothers I try to mentor and lead them on the right path.
Questions?
I'm Practitioner Jones, what do integrity mean to you?
Integrity, to me, it means doing the right thing when nobody's looking, and just, yeah, pretty much that.
What do team player mean?
Team player is knowing when to step up and step down and getting everybody involved.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Welcome to the 2020 session.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you guys.
And we have to maintain that, on an ongoing basis. And, practitioner, candidate Durham and candidate McNeil? McHenry. Okay, at each meeting, you need to, walk around and ask people, have you, pledged in the session? And if they're in the right uniform.
Okay.
Okay, so the two of you will go around and ask different people, if they wanna pledge, and explain to them what needs to be done. And then you step back and see if they do it, okay? You don't, there's no pushing, okay? So we wanna try to do that and then see how that works out. Any
Okay.
questions with that? Okay. Do we have any other? Okay. You know, and, practitioner, Adams,
Yes, sir.
you know, we wanna find out what we can really do to help. And it's all in God's hand, and the first thing is gonna be about prayer, you know? But, see, one of the things I know is that you found something to help take your mind off of some of that, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, cause I know even for me, you know.
I'm gonna say that.
You got out of the hospital.
Wait a minute, every time I turn around, I go up, get in there for 3 or 4 days and come out, I'm all right, you know, get home, next thing I know, I'm back there and there again, the next day. I said, oh, okay, so I know, you know, but I want you guys to understand one thing. We're a fraternal organization, right? Fraternal, interior, but we gotta be looking at all the things that we all need. See, one of the things that happens, once we get this together, and I'm trying to build this up for the next 4 years, so we can really get it down correct. There is nothing that we can't have, because we've had condos in Tahoe, condo in, what was that, Red Bluff. We've had, we went on so many, Washington DC, for both and got into the inauguration, you know? Trip to Hong Kong. We've done it, you know? Cruises, all that, you know? The little flights to Tahoe or Las Vegas. We've done it all. You know, now we're looking at how we can get a building so that we can house ourselves. Even if it's one room, and turn that one room into a one-room condo, and it's yours. But that's all the business part of this, and the people that are here now have to understand that we gotta look at it that way. So all the opportunities that people are trying to give us with 50, 100, 200 people, that was a concept that I had years ago when somebody said, hey, here's $25,000, $30,000 to do a weekend for us. Now, if everybody that was training for that weekend said, I can put mine out for a week, or 2 weeks, or a month, whatever, just for that one situation. On that Monday, we got $20,000, $30,000 that ain't nobody looking for at least 2 or 3 weeks, or months, or whatever, and go buy something. If it's the uniform store, and it's completely stocked up, and then you turn around and mark the items up a fair amount because we're a membership. Members cost us this, non-members pay this, okay? All those are the things that we're trying to create. And when I remember somebody one time told me when I used to do the farmer's market, man, you ain't nothing but a $5 security office, you know? And somebody said, man, that guy owns the company. But the point being is when he said it, I kind of like, yeah, wait a minute, I own this thing, you know? But the point being is, when somebody tell you that, I don't work for nobody, you know? I'm my own boss, I'm trained. I can get, and that's pretty much a fact. If you look good in your uniform and do what you're supposed to, you can almost get as many training hours as you need each week, okay? And somebody playing, you know, you snooze, you lose, right? You know, so all that, everybody's got their name tag, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So I don't need, let me show you, let me tell you about who I am. You gotta tell me. 46 years, I didn't see it, okay? But I could see him folding up his shirt, not knowing I'm paying attention to him folding up a shirt, you know? And coming back next week and so forth. So what I'm saying to you is that if somebody's calling you and you can't ever make, look at all the people who were here earlier and they all had to go someplace to train someplace. Yes?
petition that. You talking about people up here earlier. Look at all the people here last week when we had paychecks. You can't even move around in the room. No, that's what I be tripping on. You know what I mean? I really trip on that because, you know what I mean? Like Chief say, a lot of people here just for the money. They not even here for no training or none of that. All they want is a paycheck, and they want.
But you have to understand what they.
But they want their ice cream and their cake, Chief.
Right.
See, you can't have your ice cream and cake at
But
the
no,
same time.
but in society today, let me just say this to you, that what do we get done? We get our sites covered, right?
Yeah, we get our sites covered.
Okay, but see, the point of it is, just like I tell people, all that door, it used to go like this, it's only going one way now. It's closing.
Yeah.
So if we have a meeting and we vote, right? You know, it's kind of like, if we vote and you ain't here and you ain't on the site, then whatever it is that we voted on that has pertained to you a little bit, we got it on camera, right? Now, you out, you know?
Another question, sir.
Yes.
Who told you to order me a name tag, sir? Did he tell you that? They got it?
Didn't tell me anything.
What you order me a name tag for?
You already had one.
Yeah.
Now you got two.
Now I got two.
Yeah.
But I gotta pay $15 for this one. A cold piece of work, but.
Hey, I didn't put your name on that one.
You're a cold
I
piece
said
of
you
work.
had
But you know what?
You know what though? No,
Hey,
seriously.
your name has
You know what
a
though?
mark.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. This gonna come in handy. You know why? You lose these easily.
Right.
Yeah.
All the time, seriously. You one minute you be like this, next time you look down, it's gone.
But see.
Always good hand. I got 3 of them now.
Yeah. No, but see what happens with all this stuff is that everything has a real sellable item. Name tags, ties, tie clips, and we're gonna start back to wearing the security emblems on one side that says security on it. So those go out pretty because the back's breaking and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's.
Oh, can you order some more of the European stars?
European.
We need the Europeans.
We gotta get some more money in first.
Okay.
So listen to me, ma'am. I was saying, we're an internal organization. If I want it and he want it, we might as well get the money up for it.
How much is it gonna
So
cost?
how much does the stars cost?
Well, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's what, and get on Brown. Brown has the receipts that has the tie pins, all those different things on it.
Oh, these two are.
Yeah, so that he can see
And don't
decent,
call Brown House too.
decent in order, and also we want to do it in such a way that we have records, okay, of everything that we do. I mean, you have to understand. For me, it's 4 years, 50 years. We're gonna have everything in such a way that it's next person taking over has rules and regulations.
Be easier
and
for them to
books,
take over.
everything, right. Everything will be in place in terms of dealing with that. Okay, so did we get everything together?
I just wanna say something. If, the Queen of England is, what, 93? And she's still performing at 93.
Jimmy Carter is 94. He 95, and he goes in and out of the hospital.
But that's not what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be healthy, we're gonna eat healthy, we're gonna exercise, and we're gonna do it right.
Now, that food is turkey and beef sausages. So I'm trying to do it in such a way that we can have most of the stuff together, okay? If there's nothing else,
We end this meeting,
Yes.
we end this meeting in the normal fashion.
Yes.